Ever since releasing their first movie in 1986, Marvel has come a long way and become undoubtedly the best movie franchise. From epic characters, action-packed plots, and spectacular visual effects, they've always managed to have our jaws on the floor. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. As you may know from the title, today we're going to be talking about 20 different Marvel scenes with and without special effects, and how Marvel managed to produce these scenes in a spectacular fashion. Most of us have no clue how they managed to deliver these scenes. We try to picture them in our heads, but the fact is, our imagination could not be further from reality. It's almost hard to believe how different these scenes can look without the effects that are used and CGI. So, if you want to take a good look at how things are done behind the scenes, make sure you keep on watching. Number 1, on top of our list comes Endgame Battle Avengers. Surprisingly enough, this scene wasn't as chaotic behind the scenes as you'd believe it to be. For the most part, the actors weren't even on set together at the same time. It wasn't until the day the portals opened that they had all the actors on set. This is what Dan DeLue, Marvel Studios' visual effects supervisor, said when asked about the filming of the day the Avengers charged. "We had our big days, we had everybody there." But even that is nothing compared to all the digital fighters seen in the scene. The Avengers actually charged into a green screen. The climatic battle between Thanos' army and the Avengers was a major highlight for CGI, as it featured a vivid representation of the characters and their environments to make it appear as if they were battling in a real-life arena. Every character had their own visual effect, from Iron Man's powerful repulsor beams to Captain America's shield. Number 2, Skinny Steve. In the making of Captain America: The First Avenger, Marvel Studios had to really shrink Chris Evans on computer to make him look smaller than he really was. Sometimes, Leander Dini would also be used as a double. This was necessary in order to accurately portray Steve Rogers' transformation into the titular superhero. Through a combination of digital compositing and intricate costume design, they managed to create an actor that seemed miniature compared to his fellow actors, all while still delivering the same performance from Chris Evans himself. This groundbreaking technique allowed audiences to fully experience Rogers' story without sacrificing on believability or quality. The end result? A captivating origin story for Steve Rogers and one of Marvel's most successful films yet. Number 3, Rocket Raccoon. It is no question that Rocket is one of the most beloved characters in Guardians of the Galaxy, but do you know how he came to be? It all started with a few key casting choices and some serious special effects work. First, it was up to director James Gunn to choose just who would play Rocket Raccoon on screen. After an exhaustive search, he went with Bradley Cooper as the voice of Rocket, perfectly portraying his mischievous and sarcastic personality. Then there was Sean Gunn, also known as Kraglin, who provided both motion capture and dialogue for Rocket's on-screen performance. To bring Rocket to life further, professional animators crafted handmade models that took into account design details like fur patterns and scale. On top of that, visual effects artists created a 3D version of Rocket for the final film. Finally, to get Rocket's signature voice just right, Cooper spent hours in a sound booth reciting lines with cadences and inflections that perfectly matched the raccoon's wit and attitude. Rocket Raccoon is now one of Marvel's most beloved characters, so it definitely paid off to take the time and effort to create him. We can't wait to see what new adventures he'll get into in upcoming movies. Number 4, Tony Stark's Sacrifice. Robert Downey Jr. delivered a powerful performance that left fans in tears. The iconic death scene of Iron Man was created with the help of special effects and some incredible acting from RDJ himself. In order to make the moment as emotionally impactful as possible, he had to take on many different roles: actor, stuntman, and even special effects operator. The team worked together to create an explosive effect when Tony Stark snaps his fingers, something that wasn't actually present in the filming process but added an extra layer of intensity to that moment. Before this iconic scene was filmed, Robert Downey Jr. took time out for one last request, asking his fellow cast and crew members to stand up and give him a round of applause. "I'm not crying, you are." Number 5, Valkyrie's Entrance. Valkyrie's entrance is usually described as an intense, electrifying scene, and rightfully so, but when you take a look at what went on behind the scenes, not so intense anymore. The Pegasus was really just an animatronic, and she was surrounded by green scenes. Number 6, Cap vs. Cap. Avengers Endgame featured a stunning and iconic scene where Captain America fought himself with two Caps dressed in different costumes. The visual effect of this fight was breathtaking and left audiences around the world awestruck. This scene took months of preparation to create. It started with Chris Evans performing as both Cap characters on set first, while stunt doubles are used for the more complex scenes later on. Visual effects team then digitally merged the shots taken from both the actors and finished off the sequence with an impressive showdown between the two Caps. The final result was a moment that'll go down in history as one of Marvel's most stunning sequences ever. Something that fans everywhere are sure to remember forever. Number 7. Cap vs. Thanos. Marvel Studios added an iconic touch to the epic battle between Captain America and Thanos in Avengers Endgame. Right before the intense fight scene, Steve Rogers is seen holding his famous shield, a powerful piece of vibranium metal that has withstood all manner of punishment over the years. But is the shield actually real? Unfortunately, it isn't, which means Stevie was basically swinging at the air pretending to throw an imaginary shield at his enemy. We know we've told you enough bad news already. Unfortunately, I'm not done yet. Most of you thought at some point that Thanos might have been costumed. He's not. Thanos himself was brought to life thanks to Josh Brolin and his motion capture suit. That said, the battle between Thanos and Captain America probably wasn't as entertaining behind the scenes as it was on screen. Number 8. Doctor Strange Cape. Strangely enough, Doctor Strange's cape was actually added using special effects, which means it wasn't actually there, at least in most of the scenes. Although in some scenes where it wasn't necessarily the center of attention, Benedict wore it as a part of Doctor Strange's costume. Number 9. Thor. In 2011, the Marvel Cinematic Universe was forever changed with the introduction of Thor. Behind the scenes, a team of skilled professionals worked hard to bring this beloved character to life. Led by actor Chris Hemsworth and director Kenneth Branagh, they created an iconic portrayal of the Norse god that has become synonymous with power and strength. Special effects artists created the mystical hammer Mjolnir, which could only be wielded by Thor. Cinematographers captured stunning landscapes of Asgard and beyond. Costume designers crafted intricate armor that was both practical and inspiring. And lastly, makeup artists created Thor's signature long hair and facial features that were unforgettable to audiences around the world. Speaking in general though, Thor did not require as many digital effects as compared to other characters. Number 10. The Vulture Scenes. Spider-Man Homecoming saw the introduction of a villain that was not from the Spider-Man comics, the Vulture. The character's costume was designed to be practical yet intimidating as well as visually reminiscent of a vulture in a fight. To achieve this, 3D printing technology was used to mold a lightweight fiberglass shell fitted with armature wire wings. This combination allowed the wings to be folded, enabling easy transport and storage when needed in between takes or during stunt sequences. On top of that, a suit created with layers of foam and latex to really make him look like he just stepped out of the pages of a comic book. At the same time, Thanos had been in development since 2012 when Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige announced the character at San Diego Comic-Con International. The character design for this iconic villain was also developed by Steve Ditko, with visual effects supervisor Christopher Townsend working on his physical appearance. A full-body prosthetic suit was created along with motion capture technology, giving Thanos his signature movements and gestures. Spider-Man climbing Thanos' ship. To create the thrilling scene of Tom Holland climbing Thanos' ship, filmmakers used a combination of practical and computer-generated effects. After using pre-visualization to plan out the shot, a real set was built which included a large portion of the ship exterior and extended down to the ground for a few stories. Then, real stunt actors in a harness rig were used to bring the scene to life to create realistic-looking effects for the ship itself. A team of visual effect artists worked with computer-generated models of the ship and characters, adding in laser, fire, smoke, and explosions as needed. All of this was then blended together in post-production to create the dynamic battle scene that audiences saw on the big screen. But in reality, it was just Mr. Zendaya and a bunch of green screens. Number 12. The Female Avengers. The Female Avengers teaming up was one of the most important scenes in MCU history. It was an intense and meaningful part of the movie which left viewers with a powerful message. Some of the world's top stunt coordinators and special effects experts were assembled in order to create it. Some of the entrances were added mostly using special effects like Valkyrie's entrance and Wanda's drop-down, others just came from underneath the camera. Number 13. Black Panther, Wakanda. To create Wakanda's expansive countrysides, director Ryan Coogler and cinematographer Rachel Morrison opted for a combination of real-life locations and CGI. They filmed some scenes in the rustic South African province of Mpumalanga, which served as a stand-in for Wakanda's lush forests and grasslands. Other shots were captured at Atlanta's Pinewood Studios, where they built elaborate sets to recreate the fictional world. Number 14. Captain Marvel flying. Creating the incredible flying scenes in Captain Marvel was no small feat. Behind the scenes, a team of stunt coordinators and special effects specialists worked tirelessly to create realistic on-screen flight sequences. Stunt doubles were used for some of the more dangerous shots, such as when Captain Marvel leaps off of an aircraft carrier with her jetpack and dives into the sea below. Animators built digital models for the air and water environments, while green screen technology was used to composite these elements together with the studio footage. In addition to this, computer-generated imagery CGI was employed to add extra detail and realism to certain shots. This allowed fans to truly immerse themselves in spectacular aerial battles between Captain Marvel and her enemies. Number 15. Spider-Man London Battle. To get all the action sequences just right, the Spider-Man crew spent months shooting on location in London's iconic streets and buildings. Multiple cameras were set up to capture every angle of the fight scenes, as well as the wide-angle shots that showed off the city's stunning skyline. The production team also worked closely with visual effects experts to create a realistic and thrilling experience for the viewers. It obviously took a ton of work, but it paid off in spades. No one believed that the city shown on screen was actually a digital London instead of the city itself. Number 16. Happy's Plane. Just like most of what we mentioned in this video, Happy's Plane did not actually exist either. The design of the plane was created by Industrial Light and Magic (ILM). It took months of work to create a detailed model that could be used in the film. The team had to make sure every detail of the aircraft was accurate, from its sleek exterior to its interior cabins and engines. To bring Happy's Plane even more alive, ILM Motion went as far as capturing an actual pilot flying a real jet fighter and adding him into the digital set. This allowed them to render realistic flight dynamics for the aircraft. In addition, they employed a variety of techniques to make the plane even more lifelike, such as motion blur and particle effects. Number 17. Vision's fight against himself. When Marvel created this epic scene, they had to go above and beyond to make it a reality. They used digital effects and makeup to create two versions of Paul Bettany as Vision, one with his classic red and yellow look, and another with his sun-tinged gold appearance. To further differentiate between the two, the team opted for different hair colors: black for Vision's regular look and white for his golden form. The result was an incredible visual feast that showcased just how powerful Vision is. While it looked amazing on screen, creating the scene took a lot of work, but it was worth every minute. 18. Spider-Man Illusion Battle. Fans were absolutely stunned to watch Spider-Man's illusion battle. Wait till you find out that it was only a child's play compared to create this amazing scene. It was mainly Oscar-winning visual effects company Framestore that did all the work to bring this amazing fight to life, using a combination of CGI and motion control technology. However, they also had actor Holland also do multiple stunts and motions while wearing a motion capture suit in order to help digital Spider-Man's moves seem more identical to those of Tom Holland's and therefore more realistic to the viewers. Number 19. Black Widow's motorcycle. In Avengers Age of Ultron, Black Widow's motorcycle stunt scenes were as thrilling to watch as they were to film. Stunt coordinator Simon Crane and his team worked hard to make sure that Scarlett Johansson was safe while filming the scenes. For example, one scene involved Black Widow zooming down a set of stairs on her motorcycle. To ensure safety, the crew built ramps for Scarlett so she could go over the stairs instead of down them. The stunt coordinators also used a specialized camera attached to the wire system that allowed for steady shots of Black Widow as she performed her stunts. In addition, stunt riders doubled for Scarlett in some of the more dangerous parts of the scene. 20. Wanda's Magic, WandaVision. WandaVision is a show that has mesmerized its viewers with its captivating plot and amazing special effects, but how did its creators bring Wanda's magic to life? It starts with the visual effects department, which created stunning, magical visuals for the show. From creating Wanda's energy blast to her levitation abilities, their work played an integral role in bringing Wanda's powers to life. The sound design team also helped bring WandaVision to life by making sure that every spell had the perfect accompanying sound effects. From crackles of electricity to deep rumbles, they made sure that every moment of magic felt impactful and real. We hope you've enjoyed taking a peek behind the curtains of these 20 amazing Marvel scenes. Seeing these scenes before and after the addition of CGI is a great way to appreciate the powerful impact that visual effects have on both movies and television. We'd like to thank all the artists and technicians behind these scenes for creating something truly remarkable. Until next time, stay tuned for more incredible comparisons. Thank you for watching.